Guys, what's up? We are back with another video. Today we're gonna be watching top 15 scariest videos warned on YouTube to watch. Let's get it.
Is it about seeing a ghost where you least expect it that sends the most unnerving chills down your spine? Posted by Leo Alcala 213 to the Chills Narrator subreddit. A group of boys are outside at night when they spot this small figure far away, cast in shadows. At first, they see him standing in front of a lit building. Later, the figure is captured in front of another building. From afar, the shadow looks like a youth, standing still. The cameraman says it looks like a figurine, although it doesn't appear to be moving. In a later clip, the figure is gone. Although some in the comments say the whole thing looks staged, Redditor Gemancini writes, "Staged or not, it's creepy AF. Extra Serenity adds, you should go back and see if it's still there. Don't think I would heed this advice." Number 14. Office pranks are usually harmless, but when the mastermind behind them is a poltergeist, who knows what the end game is? Published to YouTube by Indo Crop Circles in July of 2017, this clip of some unusual happenings in a Malaysian office was caught on CCTV. The footage shows a man working in your everyday office alone at night. He sits down at his desk and is involved in his task at hand when, off to the right, a chair spins. He sees the movement out of the corner of his eye and looks over. As he's gazing at the chair, another to his left pushes back from the neighboring desk, as if a phantom worker is sitting in it, being preoccupied with the first chair. The worker doesn't notice the second one, but he does notice when paperwork flies from the countertop out of nowhere. That's when he spins back from his seat, looking under his desk for any signs of what may be causing this mayhem around him. He stands up and picks up his phone, presumably to call for help. Although burning the midnight oil may send you up that corporate ladder, is it really worth risking an encounter with the paranormal? Number 13. Teleporting child. On occasion, Twitter sometimes serves up footage that is, in fact, newsworthy. This Twitter account tweeted, "WTF, does anyone else see the child teleport?" The short clip taken from BBC News footage shows an interview of a woman on the street about an unrelated topic. In the background, however, something strange appears, seemingly out of thin air. A child holding someone's hands teleports into the corner of the screen. The interview appears not to be otherwise edited. Some in the comments, however, suggest these are two clips spliced together. Camera Snaps responds, "It's an edit chopped on at the end to make her look like she's happy." Some call the editing sinister, while others insist it's not editing, but rather a glitch in the matrix. Which do you think it is? All I know is that it's definitely freaky. Number 12. Edinburgh Ghost. To kick off this entry, we enter the medieval old town of Edinburgh. The storied history of Scotland's capital lends itself to some truly legendary hauntings. This video illustrates that no matter where you turn in Edinburgh, you may find yourself face to face with the paranormal. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Rocket League RL. Something frightening is caught on film in this normal, everyday Edinburgh park. Even J.K. Rowling found ghostly inspiration in Edinburgh, citing the very real Greyfriars Kirkyard, where you will find some of her character names taken straight from the cemetery's very own tombstones. Needless to say, Edinburgh is the perfect scene for paranormal sightings, as this video goes to show, on the banks of a lake, across the jungle gym bars of a playground, a phantom woman appears to stand still.
Download that app, okay?
As day turns to dusk, Apart from the ghastly image of this figure stood unmoving there, strange incoherent sounds are heard throughout the clip. Is this a case of Edinburgh's terrifying history come to life? Or are our eyes deceiving us? Number 11. Graveyard Live Stream. While streaming live at a New Orleans graveyard at night on February 8th, 2020, Franco TV encounters not the undead, but the living. In the beginning, he describes his first encounter with a man in the graveyard, explaining that he'd been warned that thieves in New Orleans like to come after people who explore the city's graveyards at night. He said he'd encountered this man twice already in this episode, explaining that the man was on foot, had a book bag and approached him, passed him, and then circled around while he was outside of his car walking through the mausoleum. He feels a bit shaky from this encounter and says he doesn't know if he's going to exit his vehicle again, but he follows his audience's risky advice and does anyway. As Franco is out, walking around the creepy stone grave solo, he starts to feel unsafe again, and after a time returns to his car. He is examining an above-ground crypt from his vehicle when he hears some footsteps. He continues to drive around the cemetery, saying he heard something from behind his car that sounded like a knocking. He says he can't get out of his car again because he thinks someone else is there. In fact, there he is. After turning around, Franco zooms in on a man walking toward him down the cemetery road. What is this man doing in a graveyard at night? Is he too live streaming for YouTube? It certainly doesn't look like it. Franco doesn't know what to do but continue to drive, passing the guy seemingly without issue. He speeds up, getting out of the graveyard as quickly as possible. As he tries to find the exit, he says the man was literally chasing after his car. He says he felt the man hit the back of it, and as he flees, explains that he must get out of there and find a safe place. He then warns viewers not to enter a New Orleans graveyard at night, as if we needed any warning after watching this. Number 10. Early Morning Drive. ABC Perth reported this scary story on May 13th, revealing the terrifying dashcam footage from a mother of four who led police in a chase through the suburbs of Perth, driving at speeds that ranged from 46 miles per hour to 87 miles per hour. The suspect went through stop signs and red lights and deliberately drove on the wrong side of the road to avoid authorities during the 40-minute chase. The judge who presided over the case viewed dashcam footage from a police vehicle involved in the chase, as well as from a civilian driver, towards which the suspect had been driving, calling her driving frightening. The victim's family said they were satisfied with the verdict and hold no bitterness or animosity towards the suspect, adding that she had written them an apology letter and has accepted responsibility for her actions. Number 9. Caught on security camera. Think your possessions are safe right outside your home? This series of videos will have you second guessing that. The uploader explains that the first video occurred on a Saturday night in June of 2019. It shows two women on the balcony of a house, innocently looking through a shoe cubby. After checking out a couple pairs, they suddenly race from the balcony. Apparently this isn't their home, and they aren't supposed to be there. These same brazen ladies return in the second video. It appears they felt the need to trespass further. One of the women returns to the balcony, strolling across it at ease. That is, until she notices the security camera posted up in the corner. She laughs and covers her face, quickly leaving the balcony. It's not clear if these intruders made off with anything from the apartment, but Kazium asks viewers to spread the word. If not thieves, it's still creepy to imagine strangers lurking right outside your front door at night. Number 8. A ghost town in the middle of nowhere under a red moon. What could go wrong? Published to YouTube by T-Phil in October of 2019, the T-Phil crew tests the waters overnight at an abandoned ghost town, which they say includes more than 200 acres, 40 buildings, and even 2 miles of underground tunnels. The crew says this mining ghost town has major hills have eyes vibes, and it sure looks like it. As they start to enter buildings, one that they think is occupied has its lights on, but no one is home. The calendar hanging on the wall is from 2007. They climb broken wooden scaffolding to enter more buildings that have cages inside. After exploring a bit more, they're confronted by a man named Jasper, who asks them why they're filming on his property. In the end, the man softens, telling them to be careful and lets them go on their way, telling them not to damage or take anything. They extend their conversation with Jasper, asking him if there's any paranormal activity up in the area. He says he hasn't experienced any. The crew is still a little shaken from the encounter, but they return to the mines to do their thing. The tunnels inside the mine are nightmarish, even more so when they start hearing something walking above them, but they continue finding a bat in the caves along the way. When they exit the mines again, they split up as they continue to explore and come back together. They hear some screaming that they consider might be a coyote, but then decide sounds human. Worse, loads of voices are then heard, lots of banging of metal, and someone saying you shouldn't be here. According to the crew, after calling the police and reporting the incident, they found out that the people who own the property have a history of scaring the pants off of trespassers like this. I suppose that's one way to get your kicks as the sole residents of an isolated ghost town. Number 7. School Poltergeist. Published to YouTube by Proving Demons in May of 2020, the channel writes, "We returned to the most haunted poltergeist school and captured insane paranormal activity on camera, from ghosts manifesting to things moving on their own, as well as a strange incident of a supernatural nature. This haunted school in the United Kingdom is apparently known for its poltergeist activity. As with most abandoned and reputably haunted places, the school is in shambles, wrecked and damaged by trespassers, age, and maybe even the spirits that haunt the place. Once inside the school, the group of investigators hears a humming that they say sounds like a generator, which is strange since the power is shut off in the school. Through the video, strange noises are heard. Knockings, a woman's wails, a sound like a shower is running. One of the spookiest sounds, though, which the crew seems to hear recurrently, is that of a young girl crying. At one point on the wall, they spot a message that reads, Dan PD. Could that message be directed at Dan from the Proving Demons crew? As they're examining the message, a noise is heard. Something from the ceiling fell out on its own, causing the lot of them to jump in fear.
Okay guys, that is for today. Follow for part 2 and like the video, share, copy link. Subscribe for part 2. Follow for part 2.